Algebra 1 Spiral Exam number 4 Study Guide, Part 2. Here we're going to look at problems 11 through 20. So now we're going to sequences. We want to determine the seventh term of the sequence. So you can just take that rule and plug in 7 wherever you see an n. So now we're going to find term a sub 7. Negative 7 plus 2 times 7 minus 1. Then let's just do the math. So first within the parentheses, we'll multiply, and then negative 7 plus 12 will give us positive 5. So term number 2 in the sequence is 5. Now number 12, we've got a table, and it shows the distance d traveled in miles by a car after so many hours. So we want to know the rate of change in miles per hour. When you see rate of change, that means you want to find the slope. So let's just pick two of those pairs of data points, and then we'll find the slope. So slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which gives us the change in y, or the rise, divided by the change in x, which is the run if we are graphing. So we'll have 160 minus 60 divided by 3 minus 1, which is 120 divided by 2, or 60, and then miles per hour. So answer choice D. All right, number 13, now we're moving to linear graphs. We have the graph of y equals negative 2x plus 5 shown below. Here's a question for you. If the y-intercept of the graph became 2, so decreased to 2, which statement would be true? So it would decrease here down to 2. So you think about the whole line shifting down 2. And I'm just going to shift another point here, down 2, and then I'll just draw that line. So now we're looking to see what is true. Will A be true? The x and the y-intercept would both change? That does appear to be our answer, but let's just confirm. B, the x-intercept and the y-intercept would stay the same? Nope. C, the x-intercept stays the same? No, it changes, so not C. And then finally D, the x-intercept changed? Yes. And the y-intercept stayed the same? No. So our answer choice is A. 14, we have a line that passes through the point 3, 4, and has a slope of negative 2. Write the equation of the line. So the only other thing we need to know is the y-intercept, or the b value. So we'll plug in what we know to the slope-intercept. So y is 4, our slope is negative 2, and x is 3, and we're trying to find b. So we'll do this math here, we'll multiply, and then add the 6 to both sides. So our y-intercept is 10. So now if we build this equation, we'll plug our slope back in and our y-intercept, and see that the equation of the line is choice D. Now on number 15, we have an equation of a line. Sorry, just my dog again. And we need to identify the slope. So to do that, we can solve for y. So we'll take 3x minus 5y equals 11, and then solve for y. So let's move that 3x over. So negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 11, and then divide both sides by negative 5. So we'll end up with positive 3/5 x minus 11/5. So right here, this term is our slope. Now we want the slope, so I'll just write our slope. We need the slope, however, that is perpendicular. So remember, that's going to be the opposite and then the reciprocal. So our choice will be C, negative 5/3. All right, now let's look at number 16. So number 16 asks us to write an equation of a line? Well, first, this actually, now we have a system. So, two lines at once, and we want to figure out what the solution is. Well, the solution of two lines is the point of intersection. So in that case, we look and we know we need to move over 1 to the left and then 2 down for this solution. So -1, -2. On 17, we want to use substitution to solve this system of equations. So we see that our first equation, y equals 3x plus 5. So now we're going to take that expression and plug it in for y into our second equation. So I'm just going to open a parentheses and substitute in 3x plus y, plus 5 for y. Now I need to distribute my negative and then combine my x's and solve. So I'll have -2x equals +6. Divide both sides by -2, so x equals -3. Now I need to plug in -3 for x so that I can find out what y equals. So that will be -9 plus 5, or -4. So the point of intersection for these two lines is the point -3, -4, or choice A. Alright, now let's look at number 18. Let's use elimination to find the point of intersection. So if you look at your y's and your x's, it would be easy to eliminate your x's if we just multiplied one of the equations by -1, and I decided to multiply the bottom one by -1. So I'm rewriting the top equation, and then I'm multiplying everything in the second equation by -1. So all my signs change, and then I'm going to add these two equations. So 3y plus 5y, that will give me 8y. My x's will eliminate. 10 plus 6 is 16. Divide both sides by 8, so y equals 2. Now I'm just going to pick the top equation to plug in 2 for y, and then solve for x. So 6 plus 2x equals 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. 2x equals 0. Divide both sides by 2. So x equals 0. So these two lines will cross at the point 0, +2. Choice B. Alright, look at number 19. So now we have a system of inequalities. So our top inequality, x is greater than 5, is simply a vertical line. It will be dashed, so I'm going to scan. Oh, and I only see one answer choice that has a vertical line at 5 with a dashed line. And it is shaded correctly. So let's just look at the second equation and make sure that the graphing looks right here. If we put it in slope-intercept form, by subtracting the x over, we'll get y is less than or equal to -x minus 1. So this is a solid line that's crossing at -1, which this is, has a slope of -1, and is shaded below, which that is. So choice C is our correct choice. And now let's finish up looking at number 20. So we are moving on to properties of exponents. We want to simplify this expression. So first let's look at our numerator and denominator, and then we'll look at them together. So I need to square everything in this parentheses. So x squared, y squared to the second power will be y to the fourth, and then z squared. And then I'm just going to rewrite my numerator. Now when I simplify this, I'm going to take each part separately. So I look at 3/21, and I just reduce that fraction, which will be 1/7. And then I look at my x's. I'm going to subtract those exponents, so the bigger minus the smaller. 4 minus 2 will be 2. And then wherever my bigger exponent started, that's where my term ends up. Now with my y's, I have y to the fourth divided by y to the first. So I'm going to subtract, and my bigger exponents were up top, so I will have y cubed in my numerator. And then finally, anything divided by itself is 1. So this could just be written as y cubed over 7x squared.